It is Tuesday, Parshas Nusa, Yid 7 Tufshin Paivov. My name is Gershy, Schwarcz, and I'm here to bring you the news of the last 24 hours. It's May 26, 2026.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.
American fighter jets hit Iranian boats near the Strait of Hormuz, and Trump posted one word before that on Truth Social: ADIOS. So, is the Iran deal on or off? Are they talking, still talking? Who knows? Hard to tell. They're talking in Qatar, I do know that. The Iranians, they want money. They're shooting in Hormuz, and now Iran wants $12 billion unfrozen, and China to hold their uranium, their nuclear uranium, enriched uranium before they sign any deal. And a new hospital computer can catch a deadly infection hours before the doctors even notice it. And a former government researcher says America has the bodies of 4 different types of aliens hidden somewhere. All right, we'll get to that. But before we do that, with today's news, it convolutes, it confuses everyone. It discombobulates the heads. It causes chaos in our organized, maintained space, which is our brain. Well, the same goes, people say, if your brain is organized, or the other way around. The point is that your storage is not so organized. Some of you, not all of you. So, for those, I'm talking to those who haven't got such organized space, or let's say you do think it's organized, but you can't find, that staple gun that you were looking for Erev Stickers last year, and you know that you need it, and you know where you put it, but you're not sure because you're seeing... Anyway, I'm not going to go through that with spider webs and cobwebs hanging around. Kids, so the space doesn't look presentable. I know myself, when I walk into my shed, it looks like Scheidem invaded it. So I need storage pros. And guess what I did call them? They set you up an entire shelving system. Paint. They make it look presentable. They add lights. They do all that in your shed, your garage, your crawl space, everything. They make sure it looks in the attic as well. Call them. They come down to your home, give you a free estimate if you need to, in Muncie and Monroe. 929-560-9936. Call them today. On me, on Edge. Call them today. I know they're good. You can see the before and after pictures if you have a look at the pictures here. You see before, after. There we go. All right. 929-560-9936. They're actual true pictures, by the way. Okay, it went away. Let's continue. StorageProNY.com. American fighter jets attacked Iranian missile spots, mine boats, missile launchers, basically, mine boats and Navy ships near the Strait of Hormuz. Over the last 2 days, the jets hit 2 Iranian speedboats, the fast boats, and near the Larak Island, Iran. Obviously, Iran fought back. It turned on its air defense systems and shot back some stuff. They shot down a drone, they say. And also, the Americans say that the attack killed 4 members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, and they're not dumb. They're big people in the Navy. We do not know exactly when the attack happened. At first, reports say it happened early in the morning, but now the military says the attack actually happened sometime in the past 2 days. They say Iranian news hid the news because they were embarrassed about it until now. The hidden timeline explains a short message posted earlier today by President Donald J. Trump on Truth Social, where he just wrote the words "Adios" with a picture of exploding drones and planes around the big carrier. Today, he also published several images about bombing Iran. The United States Central Command said strikes were needed to stop clear threats to American troops, obviously. Navy Captain Tim Hawkins said the military is defending its forces, but is still being careful during the current ceasefire. The Strait of Hormuz, the important oil delivery waterway, is closed right now, obviously. This is blocking trade and stopping help from reaching Afghanistan, although I did hear that they did revive something called, as you all know, the Project Freedom. They are starting to do it in some sort of form because they are helping transport certain ships, like from Sri Lanka. Marco Rubio said the waterway will reopen one way or another. All of this happened as Iran's leaders met in Qatar for talks, basically to get their money back or to end the war, whatever they want. Anyway, they want to include Hamas in the deal, but both Washington and Tehran say a final peace deal is not likely to happen right now. They're both playing it down somehow. The Americans are not playing it down, but the Iranians are playing it down. Anyway, you'll hear soon why. President Donald J. Trump warned on Truth Social that any deal must be a great one and mean something, or there will be no deal at all. He promised, again, that Tehran will never get nuclear weapons, ever, and explained what they will do with Iran's enriched uranium. However, some high-ranking sources say that Iran wants China to retrieve its enriched uranium stockpile instead. According to this unconfirmed report, Iran wants guarantees from Xi Jinping before entering into any agreement with the US. This is not what Iran's supreme leader, Mustafa Khamenei, said over the weekend, however. According to one of his men, the stockpile of enriched uranium should not leave the country, he says. The US denied receiving this information, and they said that the negotiators did not say this at all. Iran's new supreme leader broken telephone, right? The new Supreme Leader, Mushtaba Khamenei, released a message today for the Hajj pilgrimage. As you all know, they're all going to Mecca now because it's their time of the year that all the Muslims in the entire world travel, if they can, to the pilgrimage, to go up to their form of Lahavdil Aliyah, Euler Regel, so to speak. In it, he said, Israel, they always copy from the Jews, everything, by the way. It's just a funny thing to see how the world works today. In it, he said, Israel will not live to see another 15 years. He called Israel a cancerous tumor and said it is reaching the final stages of its cursed existence. But this is not really a new threat. His father, the old Supreme Leader, the one who died, Ali Khamenei, said that the exact same thing back in 2015. Back then, he said Israel would not last another 25 years. Well, he lasted a little bit less than that. 11 years later, his son just repeating the same line with the math updated. He also said the slogans "Death to America" and "Death to Israel" will continue, especially and should continue among the youth and the Muslim community. He praised Hezbollah and Lebanon. And one strange detail, nobody has seen Mushtaba Khamenei in public since he took over. No pictures, no videos, no audio. Every message comes out as text from his official account. Some people are now openly asking if he is even running the country or if he's alive. People say he's alive. Anyway, all of this comes out today while Iranian negotiators are sitting in Qatar trying to make peace with the United States. Inside Iran, President Masoud Pezeshkian ordered the internet to be turned back on. Looks like things are getting back to normal. Or maybe that's part of a deep secret plan somewhere. It was blocked for months since February 28th. But it was only partially restored and the connection remains slow. Guess who has the fast internet and who has the open internet? Pezeshkian also used an old war symbol from the days of the Saddam Hussein era. This was to show that Tehran will not give up easily. In fact, they are rebuilding their military. And also weapons very, very fast. Their stockpile, the ballistic missiles are being rebuilt faster than you can imagine. It only takes them a few months to recover, even as the US continues to attack them or talk to them. But behind the scenes, reports say American CIA and Israeli Mossad are working very closely together against the Islamic Republic regime. Now, the new military strikes make a finalized deal less likely. So we'll see what happens. And now, obviously, this new post about death to America. So I don't know exactly how well and how true that is, but it did happen and it did get posted from his official account. So, and Iran is also now saying, release our frozen money first before we continue to negotiate. They are talking about $12 billion held in Qatar, in the Qatari banks, which will be used for who knows what if they get that money back. On Truth, we know. On Truth Social, Trump instead insisted that all the Gulf countries should sign the Abraham Accords. I mentioned it yesterday. He used the word mandatory, meaning there was no other option if they want peace. The Abraham Accords will improve the relationship between Israel and the Gulf countries. This includes, like I said yesterday, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, and even Iran. He added that it should start with the immediate signing by Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Trump explained, if they don't, they should not be part of this deal, in that it shows bad intention. Now, he also said that he wants the Islamic Republic of Iran to be part of the Abraham Accords. In his words, he said, wow, now that would be something special. But people are disagreeing about whether Saudi Arabia actually wants to make peace with Israel. A political friend of Donald J. Trump claims that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is ready to recognize Israel and shake hands with Benjamin Netanyahu, but his father, King Salman, is stopping him. But other leaders in the area say Crown Prince recently said a peace deal is impossible right now, and they say he specifically blamed the current Israeli government led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In Israel, opposition leader Yair Lapid called the plan a disaster. He was very angry that Israel was left out of the peace talks. Lapid said Israel must stay free to fight threats, no matter what the deal is. So what kind of deal is signed? Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu admitted it. It's hard to change President Trump's mind. He added that Trump is acting without any control as Israel watches the war end from close. From right outside. Iran killed a spy for Israel's Mossad intelligence agency. According to reports, they say the man was hanged yesterday. Iran regularly arrests people and says they are spying for foreign countries. The government often uses death penalties for anyone linked to these kind of things, like Israel. Several of Iran's senior IRGC officials were killed in Iraq during the US strike, which happened in the last 2 days. Let me explain to you. I did mention it before, but I'll tell you a little bit more about it. This happened after a house was blown up in Baghdad's Al-Jadriyah district last week. Among the dead are Deputy Commander of the Quds Force Iraq Corps and 5 IRGC advisors, totally top people. All right, their bodies were secretly transferred to Iran via Shinrin, if you know, or Shirin, whatever it's called. The targets had not been previously identified. Okay, the Gzaidas Agias is losing political support. I mean, say the draft law. The draft is losing basically political support, obviously, and this could make the government coalition fall apart. Well, you can imagine. The senior Likud lawmaker David Bitan confirmed the plan is no longer has enough votes to pass, even from the Haredi parties. Behind closed doors, United Torah Judaism leaders are demanding quick wins on other laws. They warned that they will not support the government for free. Now, a new proposed law wants to cancel military prison sentences for Haredi soldiers if they do draft. This will happen if the jail fails to provide Mahadran food and also, obviously, 3 times a day to daven. Now, religious lawmakers also want an urgent Knesset meeting. Now, this was after the Israeli Land Authority blocked some Kollel students from getting cheap housing programs. The Bank of Israel cut interest rates yesterday because of inflation is staying stable right now and the economy is doing pretty well, might I say. The central bank made the decision even though there is an ongoing war with Iran, but the economy is kind of booming because the shekel is doing very strong now. This shows that the local economy is holding steady during conflict. Netanyahu underwent some procedure in Hadassah and Kerem Hospital in Yerushalayim yesterday. He said it was only for dental work, but people are paying very close attention. And this is because he had cancer in 2024, so as you remember. And he kept the secret until last month after he fully recovered and said he's fine. It seems that Netanyahu and Trump are really buddies. They get their medical checkups almost at the same time. Trump, who is almost 80 years old, in 3 weeks' time, I think he'll be 80, will also visit Walter Reed Hospital today for another routine annual medicine exam. He will ace it, he will say, like never before. No doctor's ever seen such results. It will be his 3rd checkup in 13 months. Last time, they said, he is in excellent health. This time, they said, it's just an annual routine checkup. But people are worried because he was seen using makeup to cover his bruised hands in videos. Plus, he gets tired very, very easily lately. Obviously, he's old. What do you expect, an 80-year-old? Well, we'll just have to wait for his public announcement. And we can all imagine, since we're on a topic, we know you want to be healthy, but sometimes it's just too difficult. But there is a way to feel lighter, stronger, and more energized while fitting kosher, while eating your kosher lifestyle. Introducing Kosher Skinny Shot, which is why it's called Kosher Skinny Shot. There's lots of, times we have meals and Sidus and Yotzeit, and now especially with soon, all these Siyams are coming up now, as you know. I don't have to tell you that with all the grills happening outside, pool parties and everything else. You need Kosher Skinny Shot to keep you in control. It's not just made for obese people, by the way. It's not just for obesity. It's also for people just wanted to maintain their weight. Which with Kosher Skinny Shot, you can stay focused on your wellness, on your goals, while nourishing your body. Call them now on 845-456-8924. Again, that's Kosher Skinny Shot. Okay. 845-456-8924 to sign up. Now, make sure that you call 845-671-1775. First of all, if you want to have an ad here, just like this, press number 3 to get through to our salesperson. But 845-671-1775 to enter a special raffle that On Edge is partnering together with Kosher Skinny Shot for you to enter and win in a raffle a free month to try out Kosher Skinny Shot. KSS On Edge. Kosher Skinny Shot On Edge. These are the words you have to say. Very clearly, make sure the environment is not noisy. Leave a message when you press number 5 on my number 845-671-1775 and press 5 to leave your name and Kosher Skinny Shot On Edge. These are the words and your telephone number very clearly. All right. And you'll enter to win a free month with Kosher Skinny Shot. Shall we continue? Netanyahu is ordering the military to strike Hezbollah with full force. He told commanders to step up their attacks after a heavy wave of drones hit northern Israel. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir also pushed Netanyahu to fight harder in Lebanon. Even though a ceasefire was reached just last month, the fighting is growing very fast. The US said it will let Israel take stronger action against the terror group if they want to. After Netanyahu gave the order, the IDF launched a new wave of bombings in the western Bekaa region. The IDF chief Ayal Zamir said Israel should respond by bombing Beirut directly, which is the main city. So Lebanese people are running away from their Beirut homes again to escape the coming strikes. In Gaza, Israeli leaders are debating about what to do with Hamas. With their weapons, obviously. They're not willing to let go. The military says the Islamic terrorists violated the ceasefire 19 times earlier this month. During this time, the terror group also replaced the leader of its military wing. And they also started training how to use drones, and they started training their little kids how to use guns, and he added they could survive politically, or even build up another army if they agree, if they basically don't fight them. But if they agree to disarm and end the fighting, they could probably survive and get immunity somewhere. But they don't want to do it. That's part of the deal. Even though they are part of the deal between Israel and Lebanon, basically, as you know, or Iran, Hamas says nothing is moving forward from their end. Police arrested a man after he attacked a Jewish woman in the B11 bus in New York, the city bus. Flatbush Shomrim tracked the man after he left the bus. They kept an eye on him until police arrived and arrested him. Trump administration is stopping American doctors from taking the World Health from talking to the World Health Organization, WHO. Reports say the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases locked out of global talks even at the height of the hantavirus and the Ebola outbreaks. This is the same government health group led for years by Dr. Anthony Fauci. If you recall, we reported that Dr. Fauci is being accused right now of hiding important information regarding COVID-19 and its origin. But this isn't what the main reason is and why they are banned from attending. It's because US withdrew from WHO. In January, Trump said that they mishandled the COVID-19 pandemic and were too influenced by China. U.S. Senator Andy Kim was pepper sprayed during a physical fight between protesters and immigration agents. This happened outside New Jersey Holding Center. The protests started because people locked inside the somewhere the hall building there. Which hall was it? The Delany, I think, Delany Hall building, are refusing basically to eat. And critics say the living conditions inside there are terrible. After he was pepper sprayed, Senator Kim made a public statement about what happened. New Jersey Governor Mickey Sherrill, the new one obviously, went to the holding center and demanded to go inside. Guards said no and completely blocked the governor from entering, I guess because of his safety. Police in Orange County arrested several people for robbing empty homes. The thieves were targeting evacuated neighborhoods. In Garden Grove, where a toxic leak happened, officials announced that the danger of a massive explosion is now gone. Orders to stay away were lifted for about 65% of the people, meaning they can safely go back home. But now the authorities warn the crisis is not over. About 16,000 people are still in the danger zone and are not allowed to go back yet to their homes. Countries are still angry after Israel stopped protest boats, like these activist boats, the flotillas heading to Gaza. In Canada, officials called Israel's treatment of the passengers terrible, and now they are demanding an independent look into what exactly happened. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand told Israel that her country will show proof of how Canadian passengers were treated. Things also got tense at Vienna Airport in Austria. Police pinned down one of the returning passengers. As a result, protests marched through the airport shouting, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." Police later said they used just enough force to keep the crowd under control. Well, Canada's not condemning that or not condemning what happened in Spain, as you remember yesterday. A man is accused of sending millions of euros to Hamas, and a judge in Netherlands will decide the punishment tomorrow. Lawyers says Amin Abu Rashid sent about 8 million euros to the terror group between 2010 and 2023. During the trial, Abu Rashid openly told the court, "My job is to bring Israel down." Well, there we go. Russia is telling the United States to get all American diplomats and citizens out of Ukraine's capital city of Kiev right now. Russia warned all foreign citizens to leave the city because of a big military bomb coming. This threat comes right after one of the biggest Russian air attacks of the entire war. On Shabbos night, Russian missiles hit Kiev, completely destroying the city's Chernobyl museum. Russian military leaders are openly threatening more of these massive attacks. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is currently visiting New Delhi, India, to meet with Prime Minister Modi. And the trip is focused on improving the relationship between the two countries and promoting American energy. Rubio is also working to revive the Quad Alliance, which is the Quad Alliance, which is also a security partnership in the region. While India While in India, he also gave an update on the Middle East. Rubio said a deal with Iran is possible within days. This comes even after the US military launched fresh self-defense attacks. And after Mustafa Khamenei said that, death to America. The FDA approved a new smart computer program, AI, for hospitals, I guess. It can spot a deadly infection hours before doctors even can normally catch it. The system looks for sepsis, a dangerous blood infection that moves very, very fast. The new program can continuously check a patient's health and the charts and the numbers. The computer sees the early warning signs. It warns the doctors right away. Finding it even a few hours early can mean the difference between life and death for many, many, many people. A former government researcher claims that the US has the bodies of 4 different aliens. Hakol Bakol, did I pronounce his name right? I think Puthoff. Okay, you'll correct me, or someone will correct me, who used to work on research funded by the CIA, says that the bodies were pulled from crashed unidentified flying objects into planet Earth. He claimed the government currently is keeping the alien bodies hidden somewhere. And he explained, people who have been involved in recoveries have said there are at least 4 types. Now, I have not had direct access to that, but I believe the people who talk to, 4 separate, are very, very reliable. And they have very reliable documentation to prove that. Recently, the Pentagon released more files about unexplained objects in the sky. However, many people online are calling the alien claims a distraction from the actual news right now. What do you think? And with that, my friends, I think we're going to end this segment by saying Protobyte is there for you when you need to design yourself custom-made software. Software apps, if you have an idea for an app or anything, just spit the idea out to 347-354-1237. Let them take care of it for you. You'll be surprised what they can do for you. It might be worth it. Instead of you spending so much time and energy not getting anywhere, let Protobyte handle this for you. All right, now, YS Capital Group is there for you when you need to get a loan to invest in your real estate. And it's a good time to invest. Now, summer, have a look at some houses, some interesting places that you want to invest to be able to make some money and have a good return on your real estate. Real estate is a good investment. It's a reliable investment as well. And also now we're hearing about the interest rates that might be cut and might be lowered. So you'll be able to invest in 718-831-2168. You can borrow the money right now from YS Capital Group, direct lending, fast approvals, 718-831-2168. And you have also Arrive Express, who is our loyal sponsor, 845-622-1111, 845-254-1111. May Hashem help that all of you should be matzliach in whatever you do, and we'll see each other by Hashem tomorrow.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish24, provided to you by The Click.